Hello, everybody. My name is Felicia. I have been in the nail industry for about 6 years, and I started using Light Elegance for about 6 years. I There are just so many reasons that I love them, and so that's why I'm here today. And yeah, I'm really excited to show you. I'm just gonna start painting, and if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Right. Well, let's get started. I'm just pulling my hair back really quickly, putting some gloves on. I grabbed a bunch of different colors today because Christmas, there's so many different things you can do. I wouldn't say my designs are super traditionally like Christmas, but some of them are. And I pre-painted 2 out of the 5 just to speed up my video a little bit. But I know people like watching how everybody does their French tips, and some people hate doing them. I used to be one of them, but not anymore. All right, so let's just start with our plaid. So right now I have Provocative on, and I'm going to use Luxurious and my gold metallic. And of course, Stripy brush. I have a lot of brushes, but for some reason I use Stripy the most. It's my favorite. So with your plaid design, these lines can really go anywhere you want them to. I want some of them to be thicker and some of them to be thinner. So this one's going to be thick one. I'm going to try and rest my elbow a little bit. I hope I'm not shaking for you guys.
I wish I wasn't.
No, you look good. Everything looks good on this end. Perfect. Yeah, I did see somebody say in the comments, Stripey's good for everything. Yes, it's just my favorite. Okay, let's see. It is a darker color to see on camera, but you can see that there. And then I'm going to do another one going horizontal. And it could be anywhere. I'm going to go a little closer to the bottom. With your lines, you could start in the center, go out one way, and then match it on the other side. Or if you're feeling brave, go all the way. I want this one to be chunky, so I'm just pulling it all the way across. This way. All right, let's see. I promise the other colors aren't going to be as hard to see on camera. All right, I'm going to flash cure this, and I do have my flash dot with me. I use it for a lot of clients with art. Should be good for now. Okay, and I'm going to do a few thin lines with Luxurious as well. I'm going to do one right at the top. And then I think I'm going to add just one right on the side right there. And then I'm going to flash cure that as well. And while that is flash curing, I'm going to try and fix my light. And so now I'm going to use my gold metallic, and it does help brighten up the green when you outline it. Okay, these ones I do want to be a little bit thinner. I'm going to outline on the side of my chunky stripe. And another one right on the edge of this green stripe. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot harder to paint this kind of nail than my client's nail. Oh, absolutely. Anytime you're working on one of these tips, especially having to lift it that close to the camera, it's like it's a
And I'm like,
struggle,
my
but
shoulders over here are getting a little workout.
but you're making the line work look very easy. So if you can do it like this,
Well, thank you. Okay, and then I'm gonna flash cure this because I might not add any more gold except for to outline my French tip. This would be a cute design, matte or shiny. I think I'm gonna do it shiny today because I like the metallic gold looking a little shiny. So for this French tip outline, I am gonna start in the center. And go up that way. I'm gonna do it one more time, I think. Perfect. And then I'm gonna start on this side. Oh no. And match. I did pull up a little bit right in the center, so I'm gonna get a little bit more on my brush and round that out. I accidentally touched right here, and that would drive me nuts. So I'm gonna put a line there. I feel like it could use a little extra gold anyways. Or I could have cleaned it up, but this way's funner. Okay, I'm gonna cure that for the full minute. And while that one's curing, I'm gonna decide, I think we'll do our sweater tip because super easy, super fun. All you need for your sweater design, oh my gosh, is a color, matte, and clear acrylic powder. I think they have other things you can use, but that's what I use. I love a good sweater nail. I know they're so fun and cute. But like when my clients tell me they don't like texture on their nails, I'm like, why not? You can touch them all day long.
yeah, that's why I like them because I can mess with them.
It's like a little fidget. It's perfect. All right. I will top coat with super shiny, just my favorite. And then kind of just using my light to see, it's not a straight light because I'm using a big block, but you can see little divots. So I'm just gonna hold upside down for a second. See if I need to kind of pull some up right here. So another reason I love super shiny is she self-levels perfectly. Okay. All right. So that one's looking. For this French tip, I'm going to show you one way that I like to do. I don't really have a preference. I think it just depends on what my hand decides to do for the day. Sometimes I mix it up, but I'm going to start in the center about where I would want as deep as it to go. And then again with this one, I'm going to start also in the center, and I'm kind of going to go horizontally, but then slant up at the end. Does not have to be perfect. I'm going to try and match on this side. I always assume to go a little bit lower, just like that, because it's going to be so much easier to correct than it will be to have to take some off. And I'm just going to keep going all the way until I match. Oh no, I touched one. It's fine. So it looks pretty good. I do think this side's a little bit lower, and I also messed up a tiny bit. So we're just gonna bring this side up. That looks good. And I'm going to grab a different brush, not my smile line, even though I thought that would work. I'm going to use an oval brush to fill in the rest of the tip. Sometimes I'll use my Stripy to fill in the whole thing if it's a smaller French tip, more dainty, or just less of a French tip, but this way it makes it a little quicker, especially if you're doing all 10.
I love how easy you made that look.
Thank you. I think it's funny I'm even doing tutorials on French tips because I used to refuse to do them. I was terrified. I'm like, no, even like making it perfect is hard. So here's our pretty plaid French tip. You could do any colors, any lines, shiny, matte, easy, cute, and be fun. Okay, I'm also gonna grab my flat mat for this design. I did use a buttercream, and the coverage looks honestly pretty good. There might be a tiny bit where if I was leaving this just as is, I would maybe want to do a second coat, but because I'm going to put art over it and a matte, we don't need to even worry about a second coat. Okay, and then I am going to cure this for the whole time. While I do that, we can paint one more French tip. This one I'm going to use Bronzy Baby because she's so pretty. I feel like good color for New Year's, Christmas, birthday, I don't know, any fun special event. And I have a lot of clients that don't necessarily want red and green, or they want something festive. And I thought about doing polka dots on this because it's trendy. Everybody's loving polka dots. But I thought I would do pearls instead. So I'll show you how I put on those. So with this one, I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to start at the corner and I'm going to go straight down. Same at this side. And then I'm going to do a horizontal one about as deep as I want the tip to go. And then I'm just going to round it out.
That's like my favorite way to do French, and I never see anybody else do that.
Yeah.
Like
I
all those
really like it if I'm
lines, I'm like-
doing deep Frenches or on long nails. I think it's really easy to kind of visualize it being perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
And art sometimes can be hard for me, probably for a lot of people, because I get so obsessive over everything that, you know, I'm sure a lot of nail techs do the same. Like, I don't even see out your clients say, I'm like, well, I do, and it's not perfect. No, I've actually worked on that a lot, and it helps speed up my time realizing that not everybody sees what you see.
Oh, absolutely. We're our own worst critics for sure.
Right. I think I'm going to make this one just a little bit deeper because I want to put pearls on there. This is a lot of the times kind of just how I do that.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna clear this one and go back to our sweater now. And that one's ready for pearls. With flat matte, we do have to cleanse. Okay, so I'm going in with the same color, and I was using Chick Flick and Chill. I think I showed that, which is a really pretty baby blue, perfect for the winter time. There are also a bunch of different ways you can do sweater nails and designs. I like to start right in the middle with whatever design I'm usually doing. Gosh, you can't get this right. So I like to make this, I don't even know what this shape is, backward S type thing. I feel like you guys can't see that. Like my light is a little too harsh. I think it's good when you tilt, when you had it tilted like a little bit more to the
To the right, to your right. Yeah.
Oh my god, how do I make this perfect?
I know, like, doesn't have to be quite that far, but I think just having it tilted a little bit, you can see the shadow some more.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to add another line, but it's not connecting. On both sides of that backwards S. And then we're going to border it with a line on each side. And I'm using a more buttercream than normal, more gel than normal because I want it to be somewhat raised. On the side, you can do anything. I'm just going to do a few lines. Dots are always really cute too. Oh, move my bubble. I messed up my lines and I could not leave those ones looking like that. Okay, so now that you have the design that you want, I just have an empty container that I used so I can kind of recycle some of this. It's, you know, it's gonna be kind of far for me. We just dump the clear acrylic powder on top. I like to let it sit just for a few seconds, kind of absorb into that gel, dust it off, and I like to do it one more time. And I also like to double cure these. So 2 minutes, I'll probably just do one for this video. I'm just gonna clean this. Something. So with this design, I have Skinny Jimmy. It's really all you need in a top coat. I don't have this top coated yet, so I'm going to do that. I was grabbing the wrong top coat. I also think there are a lot of ways you can do your gems. And for me, sometimes I will top coat, just like I'm doing now. Put my gems or pearls on. And use Skinny Jimmy, and they're good. Sometimes, maybe it's different clients, I will top coat after that as well. And depending on how the gems are, so I'll show you that, what I mean by that. Okay, now we're just gonna dust off our sweater now. And you don't have to top coat. You don't need anything else on this now. It's perfect and done.
That is so stinking cute.
Oh, they're fun. I wish everybody loved them as much as me.
I have so many clients do sweater nails all season. Like sometimes I get to a point by Christmas and I'm like, okay, enough. But
Mm.
I'm just like, yes. Somebody's like, I was thinking a sweater nail. Yes.
I get that way about all trends. They're fun. And then you're like, hey, I can only do this so many times.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I only never get sick of like peppermint swirls or like candy cane stripes. Those are my all-time favorite for the holidays, and I never get sick of them.
I'm going to need to watch you do some tutorials on those because I'm doing one today. And I think it's my hardest design that I'm trying to teach.
It's one that takes a lot of practice for sure.
All right. So now that this one is cured, I got my little pearls out. Skinny Jimmy. I'm going to cleanse as well to get rid of the inhibition layer. Or yeah, layer. And I put a little bit of Skinny Jimmy right here on my palette. Now using a dotting tool, you can kind of use whatever you want. Just gonna use this. And just place where I'm gonna put my gems. I might not be able to get that many on. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with 4 for now. My tool is being mean to me. There we go. After this, I use my stripy brush to go around anyways. So just kind of just put them in place. Keep them where you want them. I'm gonna add one more on each of these sides. Perfect. Now I'm gonna flash cure those. While I'm doing that, we'll load up my brush with some Skinny Jimmy, and of course we're using Stripy.
I don't want too much because I don't want a big old ball to form. And we're going to go around all of these. Can't even see it.
I think I got all of them. And then we just cure for 1 whole minute. And after this part is where I would decide if I'm going to put a thin layer of top coat on top and kind of avoid the gems best I can. Do feel like if you do that, they're not going anywhere. Sometimes you don't need to. Oh, if somebody was getting married, I would probably do it that way. Other than that, I love how that nail looks like those little, like the sweaters with the little pearls on them.
Ooh,
Or like the
yeah.
little cardigans and the headbands and stuff. I think that's so cute. I've had a lot of clients lately request pearls, so I had to go get some. And I've been using them a lot, so I thought I would use them today.
Yeah, they're super cute. And I think people like that they're smooth and not like more textured, like rhinestones.
Uh-huh. Kind of more hidden as well. Blend in.
Yeah,
I guess depends on
definitely.
what you do. Color you put behind it. Okay. So because I top coated, these are good to go. I could just leave them as is, or you could put a thin layer of super shiny on top and kind of just make sure you get real good in there. I'm not going to do that, but you could on a client. All right, so I'm saving my peppermint for last. This next one's super fun though because we get to use cat eye. And ever since our collection came out, me and my clients have both just been super obsessed. I moved my light again, so just let me know if it's worse.
No, I think you're looking good.
Because cat eye is a P plus and it's a lot more runny consistency. I think it's, I don't know, I actually don't know if I have a preference between which one's easier to do French tips, but I do love the consistency of this. Just makes it smooth and easy. So I'm just gonna go all the way around on each side. Looks pretty good. Maybe I wouldn't say it's easier, but just might feel a little closer.
I feel like sometimes when I'm using P plus, it's nice just because it self levels a little faster.
Yeah, I think that's what
Like,
it is.
that's
I'm like, I
kinda
wouldn't say
where-
it speeds up my time, but it does feel quicker.
Yeah.
It's a little smooth. Okay. I don't want to do too thick of the cat eye. Want to make sure it's all there pretty good. Now, the gold I find is one of the harder ones to make work. So you might not see as much movement as I do, but I promise you're going to be able to see it. I'm going to try and make it more of like a hard line. Oh yeah, you can, I think you can see that.
What magnet are you using there?
I got it on Amazon in a pack, just really cheap, like $7 pack. And I like this one because it's flexible right here. So, you know, I can move this all I want, but with your clients, it's just harder. So I don't know, I really like it.
That made the gold move really quick. I'm gonna need that link from you later.
Yeah, message me. Honestly, it did. I really like that. That worked way good on camera too. So I'm gonna put that in. Cat eyes are always fun. My clients always want to watch them move. I'm like, "What? I can't see."
It's literally like magic. So
I know. For the art, I don't typically mix like buttercreams and P pluses. I try not to if I'm using tiny bit of
art on top. It's usually fine, but I'm gonna do my little dots and leaves, my mistletoe, with buttercream because those are just way too small for me to use P+. And I will be top coating with the No Wipe top coat. And it will be perfect. That's be cured enough for now. All right, so again, you can do your mistletoe wherever. I think it's really cute just off to the side. It's kind of a big dot. I'm going to redo that. I saw somebody talk about a Hanukkah idea, and I love that. I think that's awesome. I would love to see it if they do it. All right, slash dot doing its job.
I love a good old flash dot.
I
It's
know.
like my new obsession.
Me too. So much better than like, okay, switch, okay, switch, okay, switch. When you're doing art.
Yeah, especially when you're doing a lot of detailed nail art, it's like, okay, like this is getting old. Just flash really quick.
My clients like my hands are getting hot. I'm like, you're fine. Fine, I'll use the
Like,
flash dot.
don't worry about it.
Okay, I think I'm gonna pull luxurious again because it's open. So because these little petals are so small, I'm not gonna stress them the way that they look. And just straight line on each opening from these little dots. And I'm not really putting more product on my brush, kind of just wiping it off to make it even all throughout. And think of maybe doing like a Christmas tree and do a little arch going up in a pointy one. Same on this side. And I'm pulling the product that I already have and I'm putting a tiny bit on to finish that. Now, if you really wanted, you could flash here in between these, but I'm not too worried about them. Yep, I think that's cute. So we're gonna flash here that. Actually, yeah, because we're gonna add a little bit of white just to make the mistletoe pop. I played around with some other mistletoe designs and I tried adding more dimension into it, but it was such a small design that I felt like this, what I'm gonna do is just a little bit better.
I think sometimes too, like over the cat eyes, it's like less is more.
Yeah, let them just shine and be so beautiful. Anytime somebody wants a solid color, I'm like, cat eye, come on.
Oh
At
yeah, I
least
push the cat eyes
cat eye.
hardcore.
All right, less. We want less. No buildup on the tip of our brush. And try and pull straight through instead of hard. With my angle. There you go. Yeah, that worked. And if you want to get real crazy, you can add, well, if you have steady hands, you can add tiny little lines on highlights on each of these. There we go. Tiny, but they make a big difference. Now I'm going to fully cure that and top coat. For my peppermint French tip, I will be using P+. And this color is called Kiss My Sass. Has a little bit of shimmer in it, but a full coverage, not necessarily glitter. And classic white. Well, I already have my white, so I was wrong, but I did use that. And surprisingly enough, I will be using swirly brush for this design as well. Now, some tricks with the no wipe top coat that I'm learning is to make sure that the top coat's thin. This top coat is a little bit thicker than super shiny, and it does self-level like great. I just need to remember, I think, to keep in mind that because it's thicker, I don't need as much. So I have to pull some off if I feel like I have a little too much. I don't want it to cause any like peeling or chipping. I want it fully cure. That looks really good. Now we're gonna cure that one last time. I'll get started on my peppermint. Where are you? There was probably my dog hair stuck in that, so. All right, so for my hardest design that I felt like I chose today, on a solid nail, full coverage nail, I should say, not a fringe tip, it's a little bit easier for me, but for this one, it was a little trickier. So I wanted to start kind of in the center. Does not be perfect, but I just want to kind of mark that's where I'm going to start. And yeah, no, we're going to use Swirly for that. So first I'm kind of just going for lines, where I'm going to put my lines. Peppermints are kind of swirly, so just like that. And I did use the swirly brush because it is a little bit thicker, so it gave me more of my design without having to use Stripy for all of it. At the ends of each of these lines, I'm kind of swirling them and also making them wider than the start of the line, if that makes sense. This is a design that I would be telling myself, don't stress it. It's going to look perfect. Just trust the process.
Swirls are definitely a trust the process moment for sure.
You can also make like an X to start your peppermint and then go off of that to get them even. That's what I usually do. That's why I think I was struggling a little bit with this design, because it's like an off-centered peppermint. But I kind of wanted to challenge myself a little bit for this power hour by doing all Pridge tips.
We have a question in the chat.
Yeah.
That says, will the no wipe top coat wrinkle if it's too thick? I wouldn't say I haven't experienced wrinkling. I've just experienced my clients coming back with more like chipping on my brain isn't working, like their free edge of their nails or like peeling. I would say, yeah, kind of more of like a peeling. But once I started using a thinner top coat, I haven't really seen it. So yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily wrinkle. I'm sure if you don't fully cure it, it could do that. Or if they stick it in and pull it out really quickly. I hate when my clients do that. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to flash share that. I do cap the free edge, I would say, with all of my nails. maybe not so much like intentionally. I think 'cause I just have been doing it so long that I do. A lot of my clients, I will take my file though at the very end and like at the very end bottom, like how do I explain it well with my gloves on and showing you? I'll kind of finish file just barely, and it pushes back their natural nail from all the product we just put on there, and it helps prevent their natural nail from lifting from the gel. So that's what I do. And even if I do cap it and it's too thick, it will still peel. Okay, I got distracted. So now all we need is some silver, and I am going to use silver metallic. I'm going to start in the centers, just swirl in between each of these. It's okay that I'm touching right up here where it kind of looks weird because I'm going to put a dot at the end right there. Now, in all my practice designs, I kept deciding if I wanted to add swirls here and here. I'm not going to because I'm going to outline my Frenchie instead, and I thought that was a little bit cuter. So going back in with Kiss My Sass, starting right in the center. Just like that. And we'll do the same on the other side. That like outlining my smile line on this design really helped fill the neck, like the blank space on the corners. I'm going to flash cure that while I clean my brush. Now I'm also going to add with my dotting tool right here in the center where all of those silver lines are. Just like that, kind of adding the center to your peppermint.
The little red crystal would be so cute in the center there.
Yes, that would be. And now I'm just outlining underneath my red line with my metallic. I'm thinking maybe I should have done this before my red dot. So I'll probably just touch that up, but I learn every time I do nail art another way or an easier way or a shitter way, which is helpful. You're always learning. Oops. I think that's the fun part about our jobs, especially with nail art. Like you said, you're just always learning. Never gets old. There we go. That looks much better. I think that's super cute. Let's see if I can get it right. Next power hour, my lighting will be perfect. Promise. Great. So now we have our mistletoe cat eye done and no white top coat. So she's ready to just be beautiful.
I think that one's my favorite.
Thank you. I like that one too. I don't get to use my gold cat eye enough yet. My clients are obsessed with them. Pushing it for the holidays.
Yeah, I used Aurora a lot over like fall and Thanksgiving. Everybody was really loving that over top of the burgundies. But now I'm really hardcore pushing the gold.
I know, like it's time, you guys.
save the silver for New Year's. It's gold and green. Just while that one is curing, I'm just going to show you these designs up here.
Those are also stinking cute.
Thank you. Felt like they were all fairly simple. Okay. Top coat.
I think that's the goal with nail art, though. A lot of times, like they all look very intricate and complicated. It's nice when they appear that way, but they're easier on our end.
Yeah, once you start learning different tips and tricks, even little simple things, you're like, oh my gosh, that's like changing. Like how to do that French tip, starting in the center like that, or how you were saying you don't see too many people go across like that. I'm like, that was so helpful for me to learn. It's pretty good. I'm gonna hold this one upside down just for a second because I do have bigger little bump on my center. That looks great. We're not gonna finish this here. Oh. But we'll show you finished results. Yeah. So those are my 5 Christmas, non-traditional Christmas designs I wanted to show you guys today. I do have a gift for you guys today. It is the last day of our Black Friday sale. So if you use it today, you will get a added little discount on top of your Black Friday sale. And then if not, if you do it after today, you'll get 20% off. And the code is Felicia 1203. It's FELICIA 1203. My Instagram is nailed.it_by Felicia, and it's like BYE. And yeah. Well, and I do want to thank everybody for being here. I don't know if I said that, but I appreciate everybody who was on today. It's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, everybody was super locked in. So that was awesome to watch. I loved all those French tip designs, so that was great. So thank you guys so much for tuning in this week, and we can't wait to see you in future Power Hours.